The new channel. The new channel. Hashtag TNC Now.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Mabuhay and welcome to the new channel. Our passion transforms a community that sees all things new. This is King Gonzalez streaming live from Quezon City, and you guys are watching Season 3, Episode 5 of Realty Realities. Hey, a good Saturday afternoon once again. Kamusta po? Kamusta po to the viewers, wherever you guys are watching us from. You know, that's a miracle of having StreamYard, no? Or streaming live from wherever we are and wherever you guys are watching us. And that's what the new channel brings to every one of us. The possibilities of listening about real estate, the possibilities of learning about new things in law, you know, and other programs that the new channel has. We made them all just for you. Yun, parang sounds like sounds like another commercial yun. So again, a good Saturday afternoon. Today is something serious. You know, it's something serious just like any other episode, but this is extra serious because it talks about estate tax. As a matter of fact, yung title namin, if you see it, di ba? Till death do us tax. Di ba? Knowing your estate tax responsibility. And it is quite obvious kung ano yung naging inspiration namin dito sa episode na ito. Pagbukas nyo pa lang na Facebook page nyo, mababasa nyo na, 23 billion. Or, pagbukas nyo ng news, there is 203 billion estate tax that has to be paid by the Marcos family. And this show is not to talk about the nitty-gritties of this 23 billion, of this 203 billion estate tax of the Marcoses. But this is for us to learn. Dahil kung ano man ang pinagdadaanan nila ngayon is something na maari nating pinagdadaanan noon, di ba? Baka meron pa tayong hindi nababayaran ng estate tax na naipamana sa atin nung year 2000. Or baka naman meron tayong kaharapin na estate tax mismo, di ba? Na dapat nating pagdaanan at dapat nating malaman kung ano ba yan at kung paano ba yan na-compute at kung paano ba yan mababayaran. At kung tulad nga dun sa example ko kanina, hindi mo pa nabayaran yung estate tax na supposedly inassess sa'yo ng BIR in year 2000, mga magkano na ba yan or paano rumolyo at lumaki at paano natin sosolusyonan? Dahil ang estate tax is a problem, well, technically it is a problem kasi babayaran mo siya. Pero tandaan niyo po, magkakaroon ka ng estate tax dahil pinagmanahan ka or pagmamanahan ka ng property or ng ari-arian. Kaya kailangan mo magbayad ng estate tax. So, problem na hindi rin problem kasi mas malaki ang mamamana mo. Diba? So, yan ay something that both you and I, sana pagdaanan natin. Sana kasi ibig sabihin pagmamanahan po tayo ng lupa at ng ari-arian. So yan po. My guests, 'di ba? My guests for this afternoon are not just real estate brokers na talaga namang real estate brokers ang unang nakakaharap niyang estate tax kasi hindi po pwedeng mabenta ang isang bahay o lupa na hindi pa naililipat ang pangalan ng yan doon sa magmamana. Therefore, pagdadaanan ng isang broker, ang mga typical questions, bro, nabayaran na ba yung Nabayaran na ba yung estate tax niyan? 'Di ba? Yung titulo ba nakapangalan na doon sa bagong may-ari? Usually sa anak naman 'yan 'di ba? Minana ng anak sa kanyang mga magulang. So yun talaga day in day out pinagdadaanan po ito ng mga real estate brokers. Sino pa? Andyan ang mga lawyers that specialize on taxation. Kasi sila po ang may alam kung paano po kinompute yan at kung paano po babayaran yan. At marami pang iba, no? Kung ano yung pwedeng maging exemptions doon sa ipinataw sa inyo ng BIR, yan ay masasagot ng mga tax experts. And these tax experts, aside from, there are CPAs, there are also lawyers. Okay? So for purposes of our discussion ngayong hapon na ito, hindi lang po sila real estate broker, hindi lang po sila tax expert, kundi sila rin ay professors of Trinity University of Asia, TUA, no, on real estate and taxation and ethics, di ba? Because we want to get guests who are capable and able to discuss things here in the show. Plus, may bonus pa po yan. We also ask our, kumbaga parang parang in-house na po siya because she has guested us in season 1. She has also guested us in season 2. I'm talking about none other than Miss Margie De Castro, who is the chief of the assessment section of BIR RDO 38. Na hindi po namin siya kasama ngayong araw na ito, but we asked her questions so that we can ably discuss this. At kung meron po kayong mga tanong, di ba? Please just put it in the comment section at below. If you're watching us from your Facebook, there's a comment section. If you're also watching us from YouTube, there's a comment section. Okay, without further ado, I was talking to you about real estate brokers. So our guests are real estate brokers. They're also tax experts. They're also professors. And they are partners of Mamalateo Guevara, Mamalateo-Jusay Law Office. Let's put our hands together for attorneys MJ Mamalateo-Jusay and Attorney Ernie Guevara.
Hello, good afternoon, viewers. Good afternoon, King. Good afternoon, everybody.
Yan. Attorney Ernie, sige, bati naman tayo sa mga fans and sa mga students na sinabihan mo na manood sila.
Good afternoon, King, and good afternoon, Joy. We've been working on this schedule, and finally it happened. So I'm very glad that I can join Attorney Joy today for your afternoon show. Thanks a lot, and hi to everyone.
Yes. Maraming salamat. At Attorney Ernie, while you work on the audio, because it's a little bit weak, I will ask Attorney MJ first or Attorney Joy, no, for you guys, no. Attorney Joy na lang. Attorney Joy, ano ba typical Saturday morning for you?
Oh, my Saturday mornings is all about teaching. No, I really start my Saturdays early. My first class starts at 7:30 on a Saturday morning, and I end at 12 noon. So my weekend starts after 12 noon. Yeah, two
Yun.
subjects. I teach two subjects.
Yeah,
This semester.
maraming salamat that you should be tired by now. It's a Saturday and you should be resting or else going out to meet probably your clients for viewing. But you're here with us in the new channel to talk to us about something very important and close to our hearts, your hearts as well. Dahil ito ay day in, day out malamang ito yung nasa mesa nyo. Estate tax ng pamilya Gonzalez. Estate tax ng pamilya De Guzman. Estate tax ng ano. No? Ito yung kinakain nyo talaga ni Attorney Ernie day in, day out.
Yes, that is right, King. No, we are very familiar with that, especially during these times that estate tax has been a very popular subject to our country, huh?
Yes. True. Yun nga yung stinres ko dun sa intro na, alam mo, hindi siya napag-uusapan naman talaga eh. 'Di ba? Tayo, nung nag-season 2 tayo at in-interview kita about extrajudicial settlement, people really didn't know about it unless they've encountered it. And the reason why we pick certain topics in this show is that so that kung mangyari po sa inyo at pagdadaanan nyo, alam nyo na. Narinig nyo na sa realty realities na, ito pala yan. Ganito ang diskarte o gagawin namin para dyan. At dahil dyan, we bring you back, Attorney Ernie. No, you're still on mute, but what is estate tax? Ano ba yan?
Can you hear me better now? I think I have a problem with my sound. Hopefully it's better now. No?
This is better. This is better.
Okay.
So as I said, Attorney Ernie, ano nga ba yung estate tax?
Well, estate tax, no, and I think it's a byword now, is actually there is a misconception. No? I'll start with the misconception. It is not a tax on property. It is not a tax on the person who died, or we call it in law dissident, okay? But it is a tax on the privilege of transferring the property to the heirs. So ito ay isang buwis sa paglilipat ng mga ari-arian sa mga tagapagmana ng yumao o namatay. Hindi mo maililipat ang mga ari-arian, like kung halimbawa ay gusto mo siyang ibenta, you cannot sell the property if you don't pay the corresponding taxes for those. That's why we encounter transactions wherein they cannot sell or they have to do an extrajudicial settlement before they can sell the property.
I see. Yun nga kasi ako sa intro ko pa lang kanina, 'di ba? It sounded like it's a tax that you impose on the deceased. No, but thank you. Ito ay tax sa pagta-transfer ng anong tama? Pagta-transfer ng rights, pagta-transfer ng titulo, anong term yung ginamit mo, Attorney Ernie?
Transfer of property. The privilege of transferring the property.
Transfer of the
And
property.
pag sinabi mo na property, and I think Attorney Joy will agree, it concerns all the property, no, that are being inherited, no, be they real property or personal property, like personal shares of stock, no, or the right into the property.
Personal property would even pertain to, say for example, vehicles. That's part of it.
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Shares of
Yeah.
stock. No?
Yeah. And that's also a misnomer because ako nga, ngayon ko lang narinig sorry guys. Ngayon ko lang siya narinig na estate tax is also for personal belongings or personal properties, no? Okay. Sige. Sino ba ang nagbabayad niyan? Patay na yung yung halimbawa, real estate yan. The person has already passed away. Sino ang magbabayad?
Okay. Yung estate tax, no, it is a tax nga. It is a type of transfer tax that is imposed, no, not on the property of the estate, but on the privilege of the deceased person or the decedent. We call him the decedent, to transfer all his properties to his heirs or beneficiary. Now, the person liable for estate tax will be the executor or the administrator of the estate, no? Sila yung primarily liable sa payment niyan, no? So kung ikaw tagapagmana ka, heir ka, or beneficiary ka sa last will or testament of a deceased person, then you may also be subsidiarily liable for the payment of estate taxes, but your liability will be proportionate lang dun sa share na mamanahin mo from the decedent. So primarily, ang liable for estate tax is the executor or the administrator. Now, yung heirs or any beneficiary can also be made subsidiarily liable for the payment of estate tax, but it's only proportionate to the share of such heir dun sa estate. So sila ang responsible to pay the estate taxes due.
So, okay, parang natakot ako bigla na maging administrator. Halimbawa, paano napipili yun? Of becoming the administrator?
Oo. Ang administrator, pwede ka namang appointee, no? Pwede kang appointed. Let's say may last will and testament yung decedent, pwede kang appointed, no, by the testator. Or kung wala naman, you died yung decedent, namatay without a last will or testament, pwede naman any of the heirs can be appointed. You can choose among yourselves sino ba yung pwedeng maging executor or administrator of the estate.
Okay.
So,
and then what I got, sorry Attorney Joy. And then what I got from what you said earlier, na yung estate is proportionate, 'di ba? Kung halimbawa, limang magkakapatid kayo, yung estate tax na babayaran dapat paghahati-hatian nyo. Tama?
Well, ang una talagang ginagawang liable ng government is yung executor or administrator. Ngayon, kung hindi mo mahabol yung executor or administrator, pwede mo ngayon habulin yung lahat ng heirs or beneficiaries nung estate, no, nung decedent, para dun sa proportionate share niya dun sa estate. So, may choices yung government. Sino ba ang hahabulin mo? Ang first choice mo is yung executor or administrator. Ngayon, kung hindi mo mahabol kagad yung executor administrator, subsidiarily liable nga yung any heir or beneficiary dun sa proportionate share niya dun sa estate. So, meron kang pwedeng habulin.
Okay. Well, now that you're in the topic of 'di ba, kung sino yung liable or sino yung hahabulin for it. Let's say for example, the taxpayer doesn't pay. What does BIR do? For whatever reason, 'di ba? Kasi maaari naman niyang wala silang pera, 'di ba? Or wala, nakaligtaan lang, 'di ba? So, what does BIR do in such cases where the taxpayer does not pay the estate tax?
Okay. Pagdating dyan sa payment, sa non-payment ng estate taxes, si Attorney Ernie will gladly tell us what the government or what the BIR can do in order to be able to collect, assess and collect the estate tax due. Ernie?
Nice. Attorney Ernie. You're on mute, attorney. Yan. Good.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe before we go to the issue on the collection, no? Although everything or everybody's excited to hear how the BIR may collect the tax, no?
Yep.
I think first thing first, the BIR should make an assessment. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yan.
So I think the important thing is if as Attorney Joy said, no, the persons liable, they should file the corresponding estate tax return, no. And I think it will be discussed also by Attorney Joy. There are certain periods under the law and under the regulations na dapat sundin ng mga taxpayer para hindi sila magbayad ng penalties, no? And malaki yung penalties. Okay. Now, kung hindi mag-file or magbayad ng buwis yung mga nararapat na magbayad ng buwis, the BIR also under the law has a recourse, no, to make an assessment, and even under the previous law to file the tax return, in particular the estate tax return on behalf, no, of the heirs. Okay. So halimbawa lang hindi nag-file or nag-file pero kulang, merong assessment yung tinatawag na pwedeng gawin ng BIR to determine, no, the correct amount of taxes to be paid by the heirs or the executor or the administrator. At yung paggawa ng assessment na yon, it applies to all kinds of taxes to be paid, no? There are brokers watching here, self-employed professionals, no? And I think if you've encountered or if you've given a letter of authority by the BIR, that commences the investigation made by the BIR. And pareho rin yun sa estate tax. Kung hindi ka nagbayad, pwede kang habulin ng BIR at may period na pwedeng gawin iyon ng BIR. Okay? So, papadalhan ka ng letter of authority or kung may i-final ka, titingnan niya kung tama ang final mong return. Okay? Ngayon, kung hindi...
Sorry, attorney. Parang ano din yan? Parang income tax return, di ba? Na magpa-file ka kung anong kinita mo, tapos pag-aaralan muna ng BIR kung, totoo ba? Ganito lang ang kinita mo? O, ay, ganito pala kinita mo. Di ba? Then they will react to it.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
okay. Go ahead.
Pag may nakita silang mali o kulang, ikaw ay tatawagin ng BIR, bibigyan ka ng notification para may pagkakataon kang magpaliwanag kung bakit tama ang i-final mong tax return or yung ibinayad mong buwis. Kung hindi pa mag-agree yung BIR, ngayon, mag-i-issue sila sa iyo ng preliminary assessment notice. No? Before that, may mga iba pang procedure. But the main one is the preliminary assessment notice. So, explain ka na naman, kung hindi pa rin satisfied, mag-i-issue siya ng final assessment notice or yung formal letter of demand and final assessment notice. Now, we call that FLD-FAN. Okay? Ngayon, ang tandaan natin, pag tayo ay nakatanggap kahit ordinaryong taxpayer, halimbawa tayong mga professionals, kailangan sagutin natin within 30 days yan. Merong mga itinakdang period, no, ang batas, para sagutin mo. Kasi kung hindi mo sinagot, talo ka. Magiging final and executory yung assessment na ibinigay sa iyo ng BIR. At itong prinsipyo na ito ay mag-a-apply din sa estate tax, no? As we will illustrate later.
Oh, okay. Final and executory. You mentioned those two important words. But this is final and executory as far as BIR is concerned. Dun sa sinight mo, no? Okay. Sige.
And even with respect to the taxpayer. Remember, ang importante, pag ina-assess ka ng BIR o nagbibigay ng buwis na kailangan mong bayaran, kailangan sumunod sila sa procedure or what we call due process. Okay? Yun yung importante doon.
Sige, okay. Yung pagsisend ng notice ng BIR, ano ba yan? Is that sent through email? Is that sent through snail mail? How is it? Diba? Kasi gusto ko malaman kasi in the future that will happen to me, right? So ano ba yan, papadala ba yan sa email or mag-aantay ba ako sa kartero? How is it delivered?
May mga itinakdang pamamaraan ang batas at ang BIR regulations, no, how to serve these notices, no. One could be personal delivery. Yun talagang bibisitahin ka ng mga examiner sa opisina mo o sa bahay mo kung saan ang registered address mo para matanggap mo yung sulat nila. Pwede rin yung sinasabi mo na sa pamamagitan ng registered mail. Pwede rin yun. Or pwede rin constructive notice. Pag hindi ka o ayaw mong i-receive, may recourse ang BIR, iiwan niya yon in accordance with the procedure kung saan ka nandoon para parang natanggap mo rin yung notice na ibinigay sa iyo ng BIR.
Kasi alam naman natin na tayo mismo pinagdadaanan natin yan, 'di ba? Na hindi naman namin natanggap eh. 'Di ba? Hindi naman namin natanggap yung notice or minsan sa Meralco. Talaga ba bakit niyo kami pinutulan? Wala naman kami na-receive na na billing statements, no? So we sometimes use that as an excuse, which is not acceptable, definitely. So ngayon, okay, you've mentioned earlier, no? Sabi mo, let's not proceed to hindi nakapagbayad or hindi nagbayad because we talk about the assessment first, which you've mentioned already that there's assessed. Now, there's an assessment, nakuha ko na ito yung babayaran ko. Pero either ayoko lang bayaran or wala akong pambayad. Ano ngayon ang gagawin ng BIR?
Dun
Now,
tayo
ngayon,
si Attorney Joy.
Okay. Kung yung taxpayer naman, King, he is not left without any recourse. So let's say, yung taxpayer, talagang wala naman siyang pangbayad. No? And let's start with this. Kailan mo ba dapat bayaran kasi yung estate tax mo? Under the train law kasi, no, yung current na estate tax law natin, ang period within which to pay the estate tax, kailangan mabayaran yan within 1 year from the date of death of the decedent. Ngayon, kung hindi mo yan nabayaran within 1 year from the date of death, yun yung possible na magkakaroon ka na ngayon ng mga penalties, or if you fail to file the return, yan yung sinasabi ni Ernie, Attorney Ernie, na pwede kang ma-assess ng BIR. Now, let's say you have undergone the assessment process, tapos ikaw, willing ka naman magbayad. It's just that, let's say, supposing wala ka talagang pambayad, di ba? Even if you're willing to pay, kung wala ka naman pambayad, may recourse ka pa rin naman as a taxpayer. No?
Okay.
Pwede mong i-avail yung legal compromise na tinatawag under the tax code. Now, pwede naman na ang bayaran mo lang is 10%, at least 10% of the basic tax assessment, yung estate tax na in-assess sa'yo, no? 10% of that on the ground na may financial incapacity yung taxpayer. Or it's also possible na mag-avail ka ng legal compromise wherein you offer to pay the BIR at least 40% of the basic tax due based on the doubtful validity naman ng assessment ng BIR. So those are the two grounds that you may avail of, no, in order to settle your estate tax liability, no? So, pwede naman yun 10% based on financial incapacity or at least 40% based on doubtful validity ng assessment. Kumbaga, kung kini-question ng taxpayer yung grounds or yung assessment of the BIR, pwede naman siya mag-offer, pwede bang 40% na lang ng basic estate tax due yung bayaran ko para na lang matapos. Para na lang ma-settle yung liability. Diba? So, that's one option na pwedeng i-avail ng taxpayer.
But still, under the train law, Attorney Joy, the taxpayer should get in touch with BIR within the 1-year period ng pagkamatay ni Papa or ni kung sino man yan, ano? Tama?
Oo. So that's correct, no? Under the train law, yan kasi yung current estate tax law natin, no? Under the train law, the heirs is given 1 year from the date of death of the decedent in order to settle the estate tax liability. Ngayon, one principle also that we have to understand about estate taxation is yung rule that yung statute, yung estate tax statute that was enforced during the time of death of the decedent, siya yung mag-govern ng rules on the estate tax settlement. No? So kung, let's say, ang date of death is 2018.
Yes.
No? 2018 is the time when the train law became effective. So kung 2018 ang date of death ng decedent, ang applicable sa kanyang law is the train law. Now, supposing 1989 ka namatay. 1989. So ang sabi natin, ang principle in estate taxation is the statute in force at the time of death ng decedent will be applied. So kung 1989 ka naman namatay, no, ang i-apply sa yung law was the estate tax law na applicable noong 1989, no? So, 1989 ng year of death mo, ang applicable sa iyo yung 1977 tax code natin. Ganun yung principle dyan.
Okay. Sige. Nandun ka na sa train law, but I think we haven't mentioned mga percentages. So, ko lang. Ngayon, kapag somebody passes away, magmamana, how much is the estate tax that has to be paid under the train law?
Yung full amount, no? I-declare mo when you file the estate tax return, you have to declare kung ano yung known estate of the decedent, no? And that will be the basis for the computation of the estate tax due. So kapag nakompitan ka na kung magkano yung estate tax due, yun yung dapat bayaran mo. Now, ang magandang introduction sa train law is ina-allow na ngayon under the train law na ma-extend yung period within which to pay. So kung under meritorious circumstances, no, yung commissioner ng BIR finds that there will be undue hardship on the estate or the heirs, the commissioner of the BIR can allow the extension of time to pay, no? So pwede niyang i-extend up to a maximum of 5 years kung yung estate was judicially settled, or up to 2 years yung extension and time to pay kung extrajudicially settled. Yung isa pang magandang introduction ng train law is the option to pay on installment, ha? So, pwede kang magbayad ng installment if the cash of the estate is insufficient to cover the estate tax. So, syempre, kukumpitan ka na kasi niyan kung magkano yung estate tax due mo. Ngayon, kung insufficient yung cash ng estate to settle the estate tax liabilities, pwedeng magbayad on installment up to 2 years without penalty and interest. Those are the good changes introduced by the train law no, sa ating estate taxation.
At saka, attorney, parang hindi ko narinig sa'yo, pati yung 6% na lang siya compared to the graduated percentages of the past law, no?
Yes, that's right. So, under the train law, ginawang single rate na lang yung estate tax, which is 6%. Prior to the train law kasi, graduated rates pa yan from 5% to 20% yung estate tax. Oo. So, ang laki, di ba? So, yung reduction of the estate tax rate to a single rate na 6%, malaking bagay yan. Malaking bagay yan for the taxpayers.
Sige. And then, I don't know if Attorney Ernie or Attorney Joy will answer. Ano naman yung tax amnesty na sinasabi natin? Because maaring marami sa mga viewers natin, well, we have 78 live viewers, so thank you for streaming live and hearing from us the discussions about estate tax. So yan, yung tax amnesty, baka merong gustong i-apply yung amnesty na yan dyan sa mga 78 na yan.
Attorney Ernie, do you want ikaw ba? Do you want to discuss yung estate tax amnesty? Naka-mute ka, you're on mute.
Naka-mute ka, Attorney.
Yeah, it's okay, Attorney Joy. You can discuss the estate tax. Kahit nakapikit, si Attorney Joy can discuss that, pati ang extrajudicial settlement.
Ang babait ng mga guests kong attorneys, diba? Nagbibigayan sila, di ba?
Yung estate tax amnesty naman, that's also another option that may be currently availed of by the taxpayer, no? The estate tax amnesty originally may be availed of only from June 15, 2019 up to June 15, 2021. But nakita kasi ng government, and especially since tinamaan din kasi during the time of the pandemic yung availment period of the estate tax amnesty, it was extended. The period of availment was extended to another 2 years. So ngayon mga viewers, kung meron pa kayo mga unsettled estate tax liabilities covering the estate of the students who died on December 31, 2017 or prior years, pwede ka mag-avail ng estate tax amnesty, no? Pwede ka mag-avail ng estate tax amnesty wherein the estate tax rate that will be imposed on the estate is only 6%. 6% lang and mawawala ang mga penalties, no? So
paulit nga, Attorney MJ, kailan yung deceased na namatay? Anong date?
Ang covered na mga estates, estate tax amnesty, are the estates of the decedents who died December 31, 2017 or prior to that. So hanggang December 31, 2017. So kung ang decedent namatay on or up to December 31, 2017, pwede kang mag-avail ng estate tax amnesty. And the availment period is until June 14, 2023 na lang. So meron pa naman tayo mga more than 1 year to avail of this. But it's better kung meron ka, kung magka-qualify ka naman, ngayon mo na gawin. But you know what, Kim, no? Meron din kasing mga estate na disqualified from availing yung estate tax amnesty. Yung mga disqualified na estate, number 1, yun dun sa sinasabi natin, paano kung yung estate na-assess na ng BIR at naging final and executory na, yung assessment ng BIR. Now, when the assessment for estate taxes due has become final and executory, ay hindi ka na pwedeng mag-avail ng estate tax amnesty. Disqualified ka na.
Well,
Now,
I will hold your thought there, Attorney MJ, because that is in fact one of our texts from one of our broker friends who said, no, who asked, kasi yan eh, di ba? Ito bang tax amnesty na to ay pwedeng i-apply sa kaso ng mga Marcoses ngayon? Hold. We will answer that very, very important question after a few reminders from our sponsors. So just hang on to your seats. If you want to go for a break, get your water, get your coffee. We will be right back.
Social media can be overwhelming for entrepreneurs and business owners, and Alan actually struggles with daily content that converts sales. But don't fret. Rise Up Creatives Worldwide is here to help you with daily customizable captions, exclusive photos, and an easy-to-use design studio, all in one digital platform. Plus, monthly masterclasses to help you grow your business with just 5 minutes of investment each day. Join us today. It's time to rise up and be creative.
Hey, you guys are back here at Realty Realities where we're talking about something that's hot. It's a hot topic nowadays and we call it Till Death Do Us Tax. And it's about you guys, both you and I, knowing about your estate tax responsibility. Opo, meron po kayo, no? Kapag pinagmanahan po kayo at gusto nyo pong mailipat yung pangalan ng titulo na yan sa inyo, this is a blessing because magmamana po kayo. Pero kailangan nyo pong magbayad ng estate tax para ma-proceed po yung paglipat ng pangalan ng yan ng titulo na yan sa inyong pangalan. So earlier, we were talking about what it is, ano po yung proseso ng assessment ng BIR, ano po yung pamamaraan ng pangongolekta nila ng estate tax na yan, at yung mga nag-a-apply sa atin ngayon dahil we are covered by the train law. So updated law po siya regarding taxation for estate tax, no? As well as other taxes. So let's bring back. Oh, but before that, we would like to thank for making this episode possible and the other episodes that we have. Maraming salamat po, Robinson's Land Corporation, for putting your trust in Realty Realities on the new channel. And we also like to thank the new channel because it's not just Realty Realities that they're putting on for people to watch. There are also a host of different shows. Ayan po. All of those. Please, for you guys to know which program fits your wants and needs, just visit hashtag TNC now, or just type in now. Open ka ng the new channel. At makikita mo po yung different programs that TNC offers. But of course, watch us, Realty Realities, every Saturdays, 4 p.m., just like now. All right, let's bring back our tax experts at saka real estate brokers din po sila. Professors at that pa, attorneys MJ and attorney Ernie. Yan, welcome back. Binitin ko po ang viewers natin, ang 80 now viewers, live viewers, dito sa tanong na to. Is the tax amnesty, diba? Ang amnestiya ba ng tax ay applicable sa pinakamainit nating issue ngayon na Marcos estate tax?
Okay. So, ang sagot sa tanong na yan, King,
Yes.
aside kasi from mga estate na meron ng final and executory na assessment ng estate tax, meron pa rin kasing iba na disqualified sa availment ng estate tax. Ano ba yun, King? Yung mga other estates na disqualified from availment ng estate tax, kung yung mga properties nung decedent, meron ng pending na case sa appropriate court na under the jurisdiction of PCGG or involved siya sa mga illegal, yung mga ill-gotten wealth, yung properties ng decedent, involved siya sa ill-gotten wealth, or merong violation sa Anti-Money Laundering Act, so involved siya doon. Or meron din na involved yung properties ng estate sa tax evasion. So kapag yung properties ng decedent papasok dyan sa mga may pending cases na filed in the appropriate court, hindi ka na rin pwede mag-avail ng estate tax amnesty. Now, yung dun sa tinatanong mo, applicable ba yan dun sa very controversial na estate at this point? Now, if what we are talking about is yung estate tax liability nitong estate na to, if final and executory na kasi yung assessment dun sa estate na yan, sa decedent na yan. So, since meron ng final and executory na assessment, then disqualified na siya from availing the estate tax amnesty based on that ground.
Okay. Sige. Hindi na, in short, sa batas, hindi na siya applicable dun sa tax amnesty. Diba? Okay. Since hindi na siya applicable, naguguluhan tayo dun sa lumalabas na balita as to what are we going to follow? Is it the 23 billion that was assessed and made final and executory back in, was it 97 or 99? Or yun na float niya yon na 203 billion. At ako nga parang I scratch my head, paano naman umabot ng gano'n na 203? Attorney Ernie, could you shed some light naman on this?
Okay. Yeah, I suppose that's one of the very interesting topics that we have now, Kim, no?
Mhm.
Siguro bago ko sagutin 'yan, no? Backtrack muna tayo a bit, no? Because I've discussed yung kung paano nag-a-assess yung BIR. At kung
Yeah, go on.
naging final and executory na, paano naman siya magkukolekta?
Mhm.
Kukolektahin ng buwis. So halimbawa ay naging final and executory na yung assessment sa yung estate, no? So it's for the BIR to collect already logically, no? At
Okay.
papaano siya magko-collect? Sa batas may tinatawag na warrant of distraint, no? Or levy on real property. Warrant of distraint or levy on real property. Pag sinabi
Okay.
natin warrant of distraint, we're talking about yung mga personal property mo, pwedeng habulin ng BIR. Ano yung mga yan? Kotse mo, shares of stock, at yung pinaka-common ay your bank account, no? Ang tawag doon ng BIR ay i-garnish niya ang iyong bank account. Pwede niyang padalhan ang mga bangko at sabihin ay may utang ka sa BIR, so mapi-freeze yung account mo. And we've handled cases before, no, na even the smallest amount, no, are being run after by the BIR. It's not even millions of pesos. So yun yung una. Ang pangalawa, yung distraint on levy on real property. So pag nakakita siya ng property dun sa estate, ang gagawin niya ay ililevy niya yon o kumbaga, yun ang ipapambayad sa tax mo. Pero hindi outright na bayad, no? Merong procedure na susundin, i-attach yung property mo at ibibenta, tapos may period of redemption hanggang sa hindi mo na redeem within 1 year, yun na yung pambayad sa property mo. Ngayon, aside from this, these are civil remedies, no? Yung warrant of distraint or levy, pero pwede rin siya mag-institute ng case, no? These are civil and criminal cases, no? Ibig sabihin, ang BIR ay pwedeng pumunta sa korte at mag-file ng civil cases against the taxpayer na ayaw magbayad. Okay. Now,
Wait,
singitan
singitan kita, Attorney Ernie.
Yeah.
Sorry, sisingitan kita dyan.
Okay.
Meron na ba kayo, halimbawa ni Attorney MJ, na experience na nakasuhan ng BIR dahil sa hindi nila kayang magbayad or hindi sila nagbayad ng kanilang estate tax?
Yung isang case namin, hindi actually kaso, but it was garnished, no? Merong supposedly naging final and executory yung assessment, pinapagbayad siya ng BIR. So nagulat na lang yung taxpayer, sinabihan siya ng bangko na, oy, hindi mo na mawi-withdraw yung pera mo kasi naka-receive siya ng garnishment from the BIR. So ang kailangan gawin ng taxpayer, it's either magbayad siya or i-question yung garnishment, no? I-quash, no? Yung garnishment or yung warrant. Okay.
Kaya ako naitanong kasi 'di ba baka masyado tayong nawawala doon sa laki nung sa laki ng issue na nakakalimutan ko na maaaring mangyari sa akin ito. 'Di ba? Kapag hindi ko ginawa ang aking responsibilidad doon sa the future estate tax na maaaring kapag hindi ko siya nabayaran, pwede siyang lumobo ng lumobo, pwede siyang habulin ng BIR, padalan ng sulat, up to yung sinasabi mga criminal case.
Okay. King, since kanina pa natin nababanggit yung isang kaso na that is currently hugging the headlines.
Yeah, go ahead.
Siguro idugtong natin dun sa procedure na diniscuss ko. Kasi ang dinidiscuss lang naman natin dito ay kung ano ang nasa batas at regulasyon na kailangang sundin ng BIR at i-apply sa bawat tao regardless kung ano ang status mo sa buhay or stature mo sa buhay, ay kailangang sundin ang batas. Siguro that's what should be clear on, no? What we should be clear upon.
Yeah.
Okay? So dito, sinabi natin, itong example na kanina pa nating sinasabi, and actually merong Supreme Court decision on this, no?
Yes.
It's Ferdinand Marcos, if I can mention it, no, because
Yeah,
it's
no,
on the
go
record,
ahead, go ahead, go
versus
ahead.
Court of Appeals and Commissioner of Internal Revenue. It's GR number 120880, dated June 5, 997. It's GR number 120880. I've mentioned that so our viewers, no, and our friends can actually check on this, because these are not fake news. These are facts. These are the truths, no, as litigated upon in the court. Okay. Ano
Mm-hmm.
ba itong, if I beg your indulgence, no, ano ba itong kaso na ito na
Mm-hmm.
na-desisyon na ng Supreme Court, ha? It's a
Okay.
final decision by the Supreme Court in 1997. Okay. What is involved, or what was involved here actually, is a petition for certiorari. Yung nagtanong dito is ang mga Marcos, particularly yung tumatakbo ngayong isang kandidato sa pagka-presidente
Yes.
bilang executor administrator ng estate. Okay. Ang tanong niya, kasi ang nangyari dito ay na-levy. Remember, sinabi ko kanina, na-levy yung real property kasi ang BIR, since final and executory, okay? Let me reiterate. Final and executory ang assessment sa estate. Ang ginawa ng BIR ay magkolekta na. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just to backtrack a bit, ang BIR kasi ay naggawa ng isang special tax audit team para tingnan hindi lamang ang estate, no? Nung ex-president Marcos, but tiningnan din niya ang mga tax returns na ifinal ng mag-asawa habang sila ay nasa gobyerno at ni Mr. Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. So hindi
Okay.
lamang estate ang tiningnan nila doon. Ngayon, in summary, nagkaroon sila ng findings. Let's focus on the estate tax. Nagkaroon
Okay.
ng findings na meron silang liability na 23 billion. Okay? Liability of 23 billion established by the BIR. It's 23 billion plus, actually. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The BIR here followed the procedure. Remember, nabanggit ni Attorney Joy na kung ano ang kinamatayan mo, anong date ka namatay, yun ang mag-a-apply sa iyong batas. So, ang applicable dito is not trained law, as we currently know now, but it's PD 1558, okay? Or the 1977 tax code as amended. So, doon ay allowed ang BIR na mag-file ng estate tax return kung ang mga heirs or executors or administrators did not do so. So, the BIR filed, and based on sa findings na 23 billion, yun ang i-final nila. Okay? At pagkatapos noon, hindi nagprotesta ang mga Marcoses. Walang sagot. Nagpadala ng mga notices ang BIR because remember, no, sa pag-assess ng BIR, kailangan i-follow nila ang due process. So nagpadala sa bahay ni Ginang Marcos, nagpadala sa bahay at sa House of Representatives ni Ginoong Marcos. Okay. So, after that, in 1991, they tried to levy certain properties. They issued, I think, at least 20 or more than 20 notices, no? And they were able to levy 11 property in Tacloban. Okay. Now, as to the details, no, it was not discussed in the law.
Okay.
So, ang tinanong ngayon ni Mr. Marcos nung malevy na ay he's trying to question the validity of the levy of the real property, no? And it was said that the Court of Appeal said it was valid. So he went straight up to the Supreme Court, no, to question the decision of the Court of Appeals. Thus, the case Ferdinand Marcos versus Court of Appeals, no? And
Yes.
in gist, no, ang sinabi, and I think this is what is really, really important, no, for everyone to know, and for those who care to read the case, is that one important statement by the Supreme Court that said the assessment on the estate tax is final and unappealable. So, tapos na ang boxing. Okay? So, it is inaccurate na pag may naririnig tayo na hindi pa siya final, okay? It
Mhm.
is final, it is on record that it is already final and unappealable. Okay.
Yeah.
Yung isa,
I think,
siguro
attorney,
last,
parang ano naman eh. Kasi, attorney, sorry, singit ko lang. Parang, ano naman eh, parang merong admission yata ng final dahil ah moving eh, no? Moving no Thursday, nagsabi naman yung isa sa mga lawyers nila that they are willing already to pay the 23 billion. So, parang doon sa kampo, parang meron ng admission na, oh, final and executory na nga to, babayaran na namin yung 23 billion. Paano yung natitira?
may rule, di ba sinabi natin, pwede
Hmm.
kang mag-distrain or levy on real property. Ang rule
Okay.
sa tax code, hanggat hindi mo nasasatisfy yung amount. No? And remember, this is 23 billion. So I suppose, meron pang kulang doon sa na-levy na real property. Pwedeng ulit-ulitin ng BIR at ng gobyerno, no? Yung pag-warrant at pag-levy on real property.
Aha.
So ulit-ulitin mo hanggang sa makapagbayad ka ng appropriate tax. Okay. Doon lang sa sinasabi mo na inamin na, no? Inamin na. This has been pending since, I think, the decision was promulgated in 1997. And ilang taon na ngayon? 20, 22, 3, almost 30 years, no? At hindi pa nagbabayad, no? So naungkat, sabi, sana magbayad na, no? But let me again go back to the tax code, no? There
Yeah.
is another remedy by the BIR if the taxpayer is not paying. Kung hindi ka
Okay.
nagbabayad, padala ako ng padala ng demand, wala namang reaction sa'yo, okay? Hanggat hindi ka nagbabayad, may karapatan akong ikolekta kung ano ang nararapat na buwis sa gobyerno. That's the thing. And that is in the rules.
Ano yung remedy na yan na
Again,
sinasabi
no?
mo, attorney?
They can continue with the levy on real property if they can identify more property, or they can file a criminal case under Section 255 of the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997 as amended. In simple words, ang sinasabi lamang doon sa Section 255 is that the government or the BIR in this particular case, no, can file a criminal case, no, for against a taxpayer who does not file a return, who willfully does not file a return, or does not pay the correct amount of tax. So the operative word is willfully, no? So many circumstances should go into that, no, for you to determine whether the taxpayer is willfully doing that or not, no? So let the circumstances, no, speak for themselves. So yun ang titingnan, pwedeng mag-file dyan ng case ang BIR. So that's one of the remedies, no, that the BIR I think has, no, in this particular case.
Okay. Thank you very much. I won't mention if BIR would proceed to that, but it's just clear that BIR has the, hindi ko alam kung ito yung proper term, no? Has the right para mag-file ng criminal na kaso para sa isang taong hindi nagbabayad ng kanyang buwis sa bayan at sa gobyerno. No, that's it. At dahil dyan, no, even guys, no, even in season 1 and season 2, when we invited the chief of the assessment section of RDO 38, she in her last statements would always mention that please be aware of your tax responsibilities. Mapa-agent ka, mapa-real estate broker ka, mapa-businessman ka, or kung ano man ang ginagawa mo at kumikita ka ng pera, please study dahil merong karampatang buwis dyan sa kinikita mong pera para yung buwis na yan ay maparolyo ng gobyerno sa mga serbisyo na ibinibigay niya sa tao. Dahil saan pa kukuha ng pera ang ating gobyerno kung hindi sa taxes na binabayad nating mga Pilipino? And with that, I end this discussion. I'm so sorry. I know you still have some more thoughts in mind, but we could always have a Till Death Do Us Part 2. Till Death Do Us Tax Part 2, no? So with that, we would like to thank our capable and expert tax attorneys, Attorney MJ Mamalateo-Jusay and Attorney Ernie M. Guevara. Palakpakan po natin sila. At hindi lang yan. We're also giving you care of Party Links Events Corporation. Ta-da! It's an alcohol dispenser that's chic. No, you can just put this outside of your office or near the door of your homes, so they can just easily just pump in alcohol once they enter.
Thank you. Thank you,
So
Kim,
this
for
is
inviting us.
yes, this is care of Party Links Events. So sorry I couldn't give you any last words anymore. So maraming salamat po mga attorneys for explaining to us what estate tax is, kung ano yung responsibility na yan bilang isang Pilipino at bilang isang responsableng taxpayer. And to the viewers, thank you for spending your Saturday afternoon with us. Thank you also to Robinson's Land Corporation for being our sponsor of Season 3. And with that, mabuhay ang Pilipinas and God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you.